say there is a group of people who have taken a test, right? There are a group of people who've taken a test, and these are their results. The test is out of 10, and they have gotten these results in the class. Yes, pretty much. They are tally tables, but we call them frequency tables because we add up the tally also and we figure out what that value is. Okay, pretty much. Okay, so we're going to use this data over here to find the mode, and we're going to use this to find the median. All right, so if we want to find the mode, we're going to look for the frequency that is highest, because that means that's the score in the class that's come up the most. So what is the highest frequency, grade 10s? Correct. Oh, wow. The highest frequency is 7, and you're not wrong. The highest frequency is 7, so that one and that one. So that means most of the kids in the class got 8 out of 10 and 9 out of 10. That's what the mode is telling us, okay? That most of the kids in the class got 8 or 9 out of 10. Now, if we had to find the median, right? I'm going to go about this in a bit of a roundabout way. So let's say, for instance, I give you guys a couple of values. I'm going to go 3, 5, 7, 4, 8, 8, 3, 2, 6, 5, 9, 8, 12. All right. Now, if I've given you this information right here, and I say to you, find me the median, right? I'm looking for the number that sits. Median sounds like what? What does the word median sound like? Medium. Good. It sounds like medium. So something that would be sitting in the middle. Correct. But if we look at all of this information over here, if I find the number sitting in the middle, that's not going to tell me very much. Why is this not going to tell me very much? Because my data is not what? My data is not? What should I do with the data before I look for the middle number? That's it. Correct, Abu. I need to arrange this data in ascending order or descending order. Both of them would work, but it's much easier to work with ascending order. So if I wrote all of this info in ascending order, I would go 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, and 12. All right, so now that I've arranged it, we can then go and look for the number that's sitting right in the middle. Which number is sitting in the middle of all of this data that I've just given you? Let's look for the number straight down the middle. Is it 5? Let's see. We can actually do this, princess. We can do this. We can go in this order. We can say, okay, that one, that one. So we're just going to move in from each side. Move in. And then we find the number sitting right in the middle. Which number is sitting smack dab in the middle of my data? The number 6. Are we seeing that? The number 6 is sitting right in the middle. So the median is the number 6. All right. So let's put this into, or let's actually write this in the idea of what we've got over here. Now, in the frequency table, they're not going to give you this information the way that I've given it to you down here, right? They're going to give it to us in a table. But we could actually take this information and write it out like we would what I just did. Right, because we know that 6 shows up twice. So basically what they're saying is the first 2 values are 6. Let me write that better. 6 and then 6. And then what are the next 3 values that I'm going to get? What are the next 3 values that I'm going to get in this sequence? Look at it. So the first 2 values were the 2 6s. That's it. Correct, Khulani. So we would get 7, and then 7, and then 7. And then after this, I would get 7 eighths. So I would have 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Thumbs up. Are you guys understanding what ma'am is saying? Yes? We are ordering it just like that because there's 2 6s, there are 3 7s, there are 7 8s, there are 7 9s. Now, we want to find the number straight in the middle, the one sitting right in the middle. But now this is going to be problematic. Imagine, guys, imagine if this was a class of like a university class of 600 kids and the first 20 numbers were 6. So now you can't sit there in class and go 6, 6, 6 and write out 26s and then write out 37s and then write out 78s. You're going to sit there forever. It's not going to work. So we need to find a different way of finding the number that sits right in the middle. So what we're going to do first is we're going to figure out how many kids actually took this test. How are we going to figure out how many kids took the test? Correct, Abu, absolutely. We're going to add up the frequency because in the class, 2 of them got 6, plus 3 of them that got 7, plus 7 of them that got 8, plus 7 of them that got 9, plus 1 of them that got 10 out of 10, smart cookie. Right, so how many learners took this test? How many learners? It is 20, right? I hope I'm correct. Is it 20 learners? Good, we can add them up. There are 20 learners that took the test, right? So if we had to split the 20 learners in half, which kid would split this data exactly in half? I'll give you a hint. There are 2 kids. Where would these 2 kids be sitting? In which 2 positions? Position number what and position number what? Yeah, what is the middle? That's it, Khulani, correct. So the person in position number 10 would split the data in half going in that direction, and the kid sitting in which other position would split it in that direction? The child sitting in position number 11. Good. The kid sitting in position number 11. So we want to find where position 10 and position 11 are, because that will tell us what the median score is. And this is how we're going to figure it out. So we already know that the first 2 kids got 6, right? Now, if I write the next 3 kids who got 7, how many kids are that? How many kids is that? That is not 3, 5, correct. 5 kids. And then I'm going to add the next set of kids. So those first 2 kids, 5 of them got 6 and 7, and then 7 of them got 8. How many kids are we at over here? We're at 12 kids, correct. So what does that tell us about the kid sitting in position 10 and the kid sitting in position 11? How much did they get? How much did they get? That's it, Khulani, beautiful. Because number 10 and number 11 and number 12 would have gotten 8. So our median score is 8 out of 10. Thumbs up. Is everybody okay with what ma'am has just done here? Are we good? Okay, Narisha's still a little bit confused. Can we try a different example? Would we like to try a different example? Okay, let's try a different example. I'll try a little bit of a funky one that doesn't use numbers, and we can see if we can figure it out. Okay, let's do this one. All right, so here we're looking at the different types of mode of transportation that people take in their class or that they take to work. Right. So if we want to figure out what the modal transport is and what the median transport is, right, we're going to look at the frequency. What is the modal transport? What is the modal transport? That is the frequency. So, Khulani, my question really is, what kind of transport is used the most? A car. That's it. Correct, Didimalo. That's it, Fulani. That's it, Narisha and Abu. Good. Not a cart, a car. Okay, good. So we know that because car has the highest frequency, then our modal transport is a car. All right. Now we want to find the median mode of transport, right? So if we look over here, we know that they've surveyed 25 people, right? So which person sitting in what position will cut my data right in half? There's a person sitting right in the middle of my data. Oh, count again, Fulani, not 15. Which person would sit right in the middle of my data? The person in which position? 12, 13. Correct, Narisha. Because if we think about it, right? If there are 25 people who've been surveyed, right? The 13th person sits straight in the middle. Then there are 12 values in this direction. And there are 12 values in that direction. Okay, or 12 modes of transport in that direction. Is ma'am making sense? Thumbs up. Are we all okay? We can't say 12,5 people. We can't say 12,5 people. It's 12 values. So there'd be 12 on this side, 12 on that side. That makes 24. And the middle person would make that last 25. All right, so the person in the middle. Okay, so what we're going to look for is we're going to look for the mode of transportation that is going to be sitting in the 13th position. And basically what this means is, if we look at the data here, we know that the first three values, if we were to organize this data, we would have bike, bike, bike. That's 3. And then for the next 2, we would have bus, bus. And then for the next 12, we would have car, 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 car. So let's see which mode of transport will sit straight in the middle. And you're not wrong, Hulani. You're absolutely spot on. Right. So the first 3 modes would be bike. Then the next 2 would be bus and bike. So that's the first 5 modes of transport. If I add car, how far am I in terms of position? Where are we? At the what position? We will be counting the first 17 people, right? So by the time we get here, we've already made it all the way to the 17th person, which then tells me that the 13th person would be car. All right, so my median mode of transportation is also the car. All right. Are we all good here? Can I give you guys one more example? I want you guys to try it on your own. There's no sum. There's no sum. It's that simple. It is that simple. Oh my goodness, somebody just sneezed over the thing. I'm wondering who that was. Okay. Yeah, okay. Narisha, there is a formula. There is, but if we do it this way, it works just as well. Okay, and the formula is complicated and it does it's a lot, man. Use this for now. Okay, it's your sibling. Did you you're problematic? Okay. All right, let's look for another example. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's do this one here. Oh, okay, this was an example, and we're going to do this one later. Okay, not yet. We'll get there. All right, here's the example that I'm going to give you. So this is household size. So they're looking at the number of people in each household, and they've basically asked people how many people they have at home, the household size. So we want the modal household size and we want the median household size. Okay, I'm going to give everybody about 3 minutes to try and figure out the modal household size and the median household size, and you can let me know. All right, take it away, grade 10s. Narisha's done with a little less than a minute to go. Srilani's done as well. Didimalo's done. Lovely. With the alpha emoji. Okay. Pumizile's done. Hello, Pumizile. All right, that's time, guys. Okay, so let's see. What is the modal household size? Who can tell me? What is the modal household size? That's it. Correct, Hulani. Lovely. It's 3 because we're looking for the thing with the highest frequency. The highest frequency is 14, which means 14 households have 3 people in them. So our modal household is 3 people. Right. Now, for our median household, first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to figure out how many people have they surveyed. How many people did they survey in this particular question? Ooh, 37? Are we sure? Is it 37? It's 40. We must count properly. Don't forget things. Right. It's 40. Right. So we know that they have surveyed 40 people. Now, there are 2 people sitting in 2 positions that are going to split our data in half. Good. So it's the person in the 20th position and the person in the what position as well? Correct, Hulani. Good. So we're looking for the 2 people in the 20th and the 21st position because after 20, that's where the middle will be. So this 20th person will split the data in the first half, and this 21st person would split the data in the top half. All right. So we need to count. We're going to count. So we're going to go 2. That's the first 2 plus this 4. This is the first 6 positions. If we add this one here, then that's the next 20 positions. So 20 and 21, right? 21. So our median household actually sits, or household size sits in between 3 and 4. And I know it sounds redundant because people are discrete data, but we can say 3 and 4. We will not say 3, 5. We will say 3 and 4. All right, 3 and 4. Okay, globally, like let's say for instance, if we are, when they count people all over the world, they will tell you that the average household has 2,5 people. So basically what they mean when they say the average household has 2,5 kids, what they're trying to say is that some households have 2 kids and some households have 3 kids, and that's what they mean. So in this particular set of data, we're looking at between 3 and 4 people as the median household. Thumbs up. Is everybody okay with how we've done these exercises? Lovely. Okay. So we're going to move on to something a little different. It's on the same vein. We're still doing mode and median, but we're going to be looking at it from a modal interval and median interval stance. Okay. Just going to remove all of this lovely stuff that I've drawn over here on the side. It needs to go. Okay, so let's start by doing this. I'm going to give everybody about 2-3 minutes to roughly draw up this table. Okay, we're not going to use those 2. Okay, you're just going to draw a very rough sketch of this table with these 2 columns, and you're going to write out these numbers, and then we're going to fill them in just now. All right. When you're done, just pop an emoji on the screen or in the chat. Do that for me, please. Okay, 2 minutes. I hate maths when English is involved. Well, I mean, Abu, you could always go to a country where they don't speak English, and then you're just going to hate maths in another language. All right, lovely. I'm looking at all the emojis coming through in the chat, and I'm going to assume that most people are we're just about done, because it's not that difficult a table to draw. And we're not artists. We don't need to draw it like perfectly. All right, so this question here says, the winning Super Bowl scores from 1983 to 2002 are listed in the table. Make a frequency table of the data. So we're going to put all these scores here. So if they got a score of 20 to 28, we're going to add that here so we can count those up. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So for the scores between 20 and 28, I've got 6. Then we can look at the scores between 29 and 37. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it, hey? 6. All right, 6. And then we want to find 38 to 46. Narisha, I didn't mean anything by it. Just me. I'm not an artist. I'll tell you that for a fact. Okay, I'm a maths teacher. Okay, 38 to 46. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 there. So we've got 5 over there. And for the last interval, 47 to 55, 1, 2, 3. All right, so we've got 3. Now, let's take this information that we've been given here. And let's say, for instance, like in the other examples, they didn't give us this information. They didn't give us this. Right. All they gave us was what we are looking at over here. Now, if I say to you guys that I want the mode and I want the median, right? We can look at the mode, right? What is the mode? Which frequency is the highest? Which frequency is the highest here? Correct. 6 and 6 are the highest frequencies. But now I've got a problem in that in the examples we were doing before, the answer was very obvious. The answer was either a 2 or a 3 or a 5, something like that. It was a very obvious answer. Now over here, when this is my mode, which number is it? Is it 20 or is it 21? Is it 22? Is it 23? We don't know which number it is. We're not going to be able to tell. So in a question like this, we will not ask you for the mode. What we're going to ask you for is for the modal interval. The modal interval. Okay, and an interval is just basically from one space to another, between two values, everything in between two values. So if I were to ask you, what is the modal interval in this data set? You would say 20 to 28 and 29 to 37. That is our modal interval. All right, thumbs up. Are we all okay with this idea? Gift, I just removed it just for vibes. I removed it for vibes. Okay, good. Right, so now when we look for our median interval, we're going to do the same thing. We can't just find a median. We need to find a median interval. So our median interval, we're going to do the same thing we did in the example before. We're going to add up our frequency. We're going to add up the frequency. So 6 plus 6, that is 12, plus 5 is 17, plus 3 is 20. So there have been 20 games that have been played. Which two games would indicate the midpoint? The middle point of it. Game number 10, good, and game number 11, good. Game number 10 and game number 11. So we're going to look for those two, which interval those two fall in. So I know that the first 6 games would fall in between the interval of 20 to 28. And then if I count the next 6 games, we are at 12 games. So I know that the median interval, what is the median interval here? 20, just 29 and 37. We can't include 38 and 46 because when we get to the 38 and 46, we are now at 17 games. We're not looking for 17 games. We're looking for the the games at the 10th mark and the 11th mark, which would fall in there. So the interval we're looking for is 29 to 37. All right. Are we all good? This would be 2 marks each. Okay, the modal interval would be 1 mark and the median interval would be 2 marks. So finding the median and then actually writing down the correct answer for this. So you'd find that you'd get 3 marks for both of those together. All right, let me give you an example to try on your own. Let's go. Here's your next example. It says here. Guys, my notes are just like all over the place. Okay, that's the next one that we're going to do. I'm going to remove all the information because now we're cheating. No more. Remove all of that. Okay, this example you guys are going to try on your own. Let's do this one over here. It says, the number of days that children were missing from school due to sickness in 1 year was recorded. So I don't like it when this thing sits in this direction. I like it to sit in this direction. This way. It's just easier to see. So I'm going to write 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, and 21 to 25. Right. And then my frequency, 12, 11, 10, 4, and 3. All right. So let's start with the modal interval because it's not going to be just the mode. It's going to be modal interval, and we want the median interval. Right. Let's start with the easy one. What is the modal interval? The modal interval? Correct. 1 to 5, right? Because the highest frequency is 12, meaning that the modal interval needs to be 1 to 5 days. 1 to 5 days. That means most kids were sick for between 1 to 5 days. So maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, maybe 4 days, maybe even 1 or 5 days in the year. All right. So let's go and find the median interval. But for us to find the median interval, we first need to figure out how many kids went off sick. How many kids actually went off sick? 40 kids, right? So 12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 4 plus 3 is 40 kids. Which 2 kids would mark the middle point? Kid number what and kid number what? Good. That's it, Abu. Correct. Kid number 20 would split the first half down and kid number 21 would split the second half down. So we need to then go look. All right. So the first 12 kids would be 1 to 5. If I add these 11, how many kids is this already? That is 23 kids, right? If I add 12 and 11, we are at 23 kids, but we're looking for the kid in the 20th and the 21st position, which means they must be here. The 20th and the 21st kid must be in this interval over here. So what is my median interval? My median interval is 6 to 10. All right, 6 to 10 days is my median days sick. 6 to 10 days. Thumbs up. Are we okay with this? We're doing the exact same thing we did with discrete data. It's just this time we're doing it with continuous data. And now I'm going to give you an example to do on your own. 15 days. Abu, you went on holiday, my guy. You went on holiday. That's when you're sick from school for 15 days, man. It's like you're on holiday, you've given up on school. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So we're going to use this information here, what I've put on the screen here, and you guys are going to find me the mode. Okay, the mode and the median. Now, this one is not interval work because it doesn't involve intervals, right? It just involves discrete data. So go ahead and find me the mode and the median. Sure. Yeah, Narisha, in that case, like, just don't come back, man. Why are you here? Why are you here? I'm kidding. 4 days a year. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, peeps. Let's finish up this question. We've still got one more concept to get through, and I want to make sure that we cover this properly. We can have that conversation at the end of the lesson. All right. All right, pop an emoji up when you're ready, guys. I'm going to give you less than a minute to find me the answer. All right. Okay, let's have a look at the answer that we've got here. Okay, so the question says, in an experiment, 50 people were asked to estimate the length of a rod to the nearest centimeter. The results were recorded. Now, what is the modal length? What is the modal length, guys? That is the highest frequency. That's the highest frequency. But what does that tell us about the centimeters? That's correct, Princess. Right. So the highest frequency is 10, but that means 10 people guessed 25 centimeters. So the modal length is 25 centimeters. All right. Okay, so let's go and find the median. Now, they already tell us here that they surveyed 50 people. They're telling us that they've surveyed 50 people. So which two positions would give us the people right down in the middle? Correct, Abu. The 25th person and the 26th person. So we're going to go and count. So the zeros don't even count. So the first 4 people guessed 21. Then the next 6 people guessed 22. Now that's 10 people, right? The next 7 people guessed 23. Altogether, that makes 17 people, right? And then the next 9 people guessed 24. And that takes us to 26 people, which means the 26th person guessed 24 and the 25th person also guessed 24 centimeters. So our median length is 24. Okay, 24 centimeters. All right. Oh, no, that's not, Pumizile, that's not what it means. Okay, so when we see the 0, it doesn't mean that the rod is 0 centimeters. What they actually mean is that 0 people guessed 20. So nobody guessed that the rod would be 20 centimeters long. Okay, am I making sense? Nobody guessed that it would be 20 centimeters long, and nobody guessed, 0 people guessed that it would be 29. Nobody guessed 20, and nobody guessed 29. That's what that means. All right. Okay, lovely. Can we move on? So we've done mode, we've done median. Can we look at mean? Right, we're going to look at the last one, which is the mean. All right, so I'm sure we've all heard of the word mean. What is another word we can use for the mean? You can tell me, what's another word that also means mean. Okay, not rude, not bullying. I mean in maths. Yes, thank you, Pumizile. Thank you, Pumizile. It means the average. It means the average. Okay. The average. Okay, so now let me give you guys a different example. I'm going to give you guys a different example before we get to that one, just so we can understand the concept a little bit more. So if I gave you guys the following scores, if I said 3, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 9. All right. And I said to you guys, calculate for the mean. Do we remember how to calculate for the mean? How do we calculate for the mean? I see Narisha saying that the average is 6, but we're not looking for the median. That's it. Correct, Abu. What we're going to do is we're going to add all of these up together, and then we're going to divide by how many values we have. So you're going to pick up your calculator and you're going to go 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 9. And then when you get that answer, you're going to say divided by how many values do I actually have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm going to add all of these up. So we're going to go 3 plus 9, and we're going to divide that by 14. All right, thumbs up. Is everybody okay with how we calculate the mean? Yes, we all good there? Okay, Abu says the answer is 6,57. I'm going to take your word for it. I've just made these numbers up. I've made them up. Okay, 6,14, 6, I don't know which one is correct. I won't lie, guys. I've just made this example up. All right, but now let me put it this way. It's basically 6. Correct, it is. It's 6. Okay. So let me put it this way. Let's say, for instance, instead of this data looking like this, we had 3, 3, 3, and then 3, 3. So let's say, for instance, there were 20 more 3s in the middle, and then only after that did we start 5, 5, and then we found that there were 16 more 5s, and then we got to 6, and there were about 70 of them there. That's a lot, right? Depending on whether it's discrete or continuous data, yes, Lulani, we do. And I'll explain as we keep going. All right. So that's a lot of data. Are we all in agreement? That's too many for you to sit there with your calculator and go 3 plus 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 5 plus 5 plus 5. We're going to be here all day. We're really going to be here all day. But luckily for us, we know a cheat code because we went to grade 1 in school. We all went to grade 1. So instead of doing that, we can just group the data. We can just group it. We can say there are 2 3s. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in 3 times 2 plus 5 times 2 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 times 5 plus 7 times 2, those 2, plus 8, all on its own, plus 9 times 2. Thumbs up. Are you seeing what ma'am has done here? Yes? Yes, exactly. So we can take a shortcut and we can just multiply, 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 and put them all together, and that will give us the answer we're looking for. Right. But this is when the data is nice and laid out for us. Right. That's when the data is laid out for us like this. Now, let's say, for instance, they give us this. They give us this. It says here, a football team keeps records of the number of goals it scores per match during a season. Now, if we look at this, we know that in 8 games, they scored 0. So this is what our data would look like. We would have 8 zeros. We'd have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And then we would have to write 10 ones, and then we would have to write 12 twos, that's a lot, right? But now if we want to calculate for the average, all we need to do is we just need to multiply by how many they are and add those together. So all I need to do is go 0 times 8, 0 times 8 is equal to 0. 1 times 10 is going to give me 10. 2 times 12 is going to give us 24. 3 times 3 will give us 9. 4 times 5 will give us 20. And 5 times 2 will give us 10. And then all we're going to do is we're going to add up all of this, and we're going to divide by the number of games that the football team played. Thumbs up? Are we seeing what Ma'am is saying here? Cool, good. So we're going to add all of these numbers up, and then we're going to be like, how many games did they play? They played 8 plus 10 plus 12 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2. If we add all of that up, that's 33, 38. They played 40 games. They played 40 games. So we're going to go 0 plus 10 plus 24 plus 9 plus 20 plus 10. All of that divided by the 40 games that they played. And there is the solution there. Okay, so we're going to have 73 over there divided by the number of matches, which is 40, and the answer is 1,825. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Does it make sense? Okay, and that's why we put things in frequency table, especially when we have like a lot of data. We're not going to put it all out in a long string of numbers, and it's just going to make things a lot more difficult for us to understand. No, we're not doing that. All we're going to do is we're just going to take however many they were, multiply, add those up, and then we're going to do that. Okay, Pumizile says, what does the frequency represent in that table? The number of that thing that they are. So because we know that this is a football team, right? It's a football team, and they're keeping records of the number of goals they scored per match. So the number of goals over here says 0. So that means that in 8 of the matches they played, they didn't score a single goal. Am I making sense, Pumzile? They didn't score a goal. But in 10 of the games they played, they scored 1 goal in 10 of the games. And they are quite bad. They're not very good at soccer. I'll agree. I'll admit. It doesn't seem like they're very good. All right. Then in 12 of the games that they played, they scored 2 goals in 12 of those games. In 3 of the matches, they scored 3 goals. And in 5 of the games they played, they scored 4 goals. All right. So that's what that means. Am I making sense, Pumizile? Did this answer the question? I hope it did. Okay. Excellent. I'd get them off the field. Y'all are terrible. Y'all are mean. You guys are so mean. Okay, let's look at an example that we could do. Okay. Oh, that one is a bit difficult. We're going to come back to that one. I want you guys to try this one. It says, a survey of 100 households asked how many cars there were in each household. The results are given below. It says here, determine the mean number of cars per household. Okay, so what are we going to do? What's the first thing we're going to do? Okay, we're not going to write the information out. Correct, we're going to multiply. Because imagine if we had to write all of this information out just so that we could add it. We would go 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 because there's 5 of them. And then you would have to write 70, or you'd have to write 1 70 times. That's why? Why would you go on your calculator and go plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1? No, we're just going to go 0 times 5 is still going to give us 0. And then we're just going to go 1 times 70 will give us 70. So times 5. I'm putting the multiply on the wrong side. Times 5 equals 0. 1 times 70 equals 70. 2 times 21 is equal to 2 times 21, 40, 42. Right, 42. So this is 42. 3 times 3 would give us 9, and 4 times 1 would equal 4. And then we would add all of this up, and we would divide all of that by how much? Good, it's 125? No, by 100. Good, we would divide by how many households were asked. And it tells us over here that a survey of 100 households were asked. So 125 divided by 100, and that would give us the mean, the average number of cars per house is 1,25. Okay. You're rich. That means at Abu's house there's more than one car. Guys, you guys must be friends. You must be friends with Abu. He's got more than one car at home. If he's saying he's rich. Okay. Because the data should be, well, it should be discrete. So if they ask you approximately how many cars, then you would say just one. Just one car, because you can't get 0.025 of a car. So technically, the answer is one car. The average household has at least one car. Okay, does that make sense, Didi Malo? Are we okay with that? Cool. And Abu, where are you going to? Guys, where do you find half a car? Like, did somebody come to your house and like cut the car in half? Is that what I'm understanding? I don't know. I don't know. From the tuck shop. Guys, what kind of tuck shop are you guys going to that you're buying a half? You can't even buy a car at a thrift store. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. All right. Can I give you guys one more example to try from Timu? You know what? Khulani and Abu, I wouldn't put it past Timu to sell half a car or a quarter of a car. I won't lie. I wouldn't put it past them to give half a car. Yeah, so I don't know. You'll never know. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna give you guys another example. Where's that example on height? Here it is. Okay, so over here we've got the average height of learners in grade 7. Here we go. The average height of learners in grade 7, or the heights of learners in grade 7. I want you guys to find me the mean height, please. The mean height. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Narisha. I don't even know how to console you because, I'm told myself, this really sounds like a problem that you've got to figure out, dude. I don't know how to help you. I'm very tall, so I can't help you there. I don't have short people problems. That was so mean of me. I'm very sorry, my darling. I don't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. For grade 7, some of them are quite tall. Like the one who's 152 centimeters tall. Yeah, that's pretty tall. Yeah. Okay, find me the mean height, please, guys. The height mean. I meant the mean height. Okay, Didi Malo's done because it doesn't really take that long. It doesn't. That's short, Pumzile. That's very short. That is quite short. All right, peeps, let's focus. Let's focus. We're almost there. Almost there. Ooh. Gift, be very careful with your words there. All right, let's have a look at the answer. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to figure out how much, or fx is, we're going to take the height multiplied by the frequency. So 139 times 1 is just 139. 145 times 2 is 290. 150 times 2 is 300. This is going to be 136. This is going to be 152. This is going to be 144. And then this last one over here, we will have 276. Sorry. 276. Right. And we're going to add all of this up together. Somebody give me an answer here. How much did we get? If we add all of that up together, we get 1437. Thank you, Kulani. So we're going to get 1,437. And we're going to divide this by how many learners there are in this class. How many learners do we have? We have 10 learners. Right, we've got 10 learners. So 10 learners. So we're going to take 1437 divided by 10. And that would give us an average height of 143,7. We'll just say centimeters. It's not very tall things. 143,7 centimeters. Can I leave it as comma 7? Can I leave it as comma 7? Ooh, Hulani says no, but Narisha says yes. Abu says yes. Princess says yes. I also say yes. Why can we leave it as 143,7? It's a height. Correct. It's because it's a height. Okay. Because it's a height. All right. Okay, guys, this is where we're going to stop today's lesson. It is quiz day.